All right, looks like we're good. Ninja, we're live.
Are you waking
Welcome,
me up or something?
welcome to the Itch Network podcast, where we discuss all things happening with movies and video games. I just lost my script, so struggling to get it. Forgot how we started these. I'm Spencer, and I'm talking with my good friend Ninja C. Ninja, how are you?
I'm doing great. Just not to be confused with Ninja A and B. They were all taken.
Yeah, but luckily I didn't have to settle for Ninja D.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's your week been?
It's been good, man. It's been good. It's flying by. Got some good. Oh, I got one movie and two series that are kind of pretty new. So, actually, the Umbrella Academy versus Doom Patrol.
I can discuss the Umbrella Academy with you.
Oh, outstanding! That's gonna be fun. Let's do that for last then.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, we got a hell of a show today. We got.
You're trying some new things too, man. Flexing that muscle.
Yeah, we got a story about Valve, and a game called Rape Day. So run for the hills on that.
Yeah.
We got some look at the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, which apparently you didn't know about.
I'm living under a rock, man. Apparently,
It's true.
I'm not hip on the Sonic anymore because was there like 20 different characters, Knuckles and somebody else? They made it into RPG. It's not the purest Sonic I remember. Now get off my lawn, kids.
I thought if anybody was into that stuff, it would be you. I thought you were into all those classic games.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, you could probably get a bundle right now. My
Yep. And then Captain Marvel has it's coming out, I think, tonight at like midnight.
Yes, you are correct. Yeah,
but
there's 3D showings and all that stuff. Yeah.
But the embargo's up, and the reviews are in from all the big critics.
I have seen the fellow YouTubers. It's been on my feed, or is that what you call it? Is it the feed? You know, whatever the algorithm. You know what you watch, and then it's usually pretty spot on, man. It's usually pretty spot on.
Yeah. And I'm excited to see what people think about it. But before we get into any of that stuff, we always like to start off with our movies, which, of course, you are the expert in.
Well,
so why don't you take it away?
So this is a little movie I think we've been wanting to watch, or accusing each other to watch. Have you watched this movie yet? Is Crazy Rich Asians. Finally sat down and watched it.
Question, maybe you can solve it. Is it a punctuation thing? Are they crazy, like insane? Rich Asians?
No, that's actually I don't get where they get the crazy from, dude. They seem to be just fairly attractive people that have a lot of money.
So they're not like insanely rich, but
everybody's just really good looking in this movie. No one has any kind of
because the other term would be that they're really, really rich, like absurdly rich.
Is that
crazy in a hyperbolic
like
fashion.
Is that okay? Cool. Wow, I didn't know the director did Jojo and Beaver. Wow, but okay, let me get this off. So it's PG-13, 2 hours, comedy, romance. It was out in 2018. That's what we kept thinking that we had covered it already. Mm-hmm. And let me see the synopsis here. Wow. So it's a story following Rachel Wu. It's actually spelled Chu. American-born Chinese economics professor who travels to her boyfriend's hometown of Singapore for his best friend's wedding. Before long, the secret's out. Nick is from a family that's impossibly wealthy. Why would you use that term? He's perhaps the most eligible bachelor in Asia, and every single woman is ultra socialized. They're jealous, whatever. It's a whatever. That's a terrible synopsis.
This movie sounds painfully boring.
You know what? I actually kind of liked it. I didn't really want to. So the director did G.I. Joe Retaliation, Streets Up to the Street, Step Up the Streets. But he did Now You See Me 2, which I actually enjoy that. I actually enjoy Now You See Me 1 and 2. I'm trying to get the bundle pack. But Yeah, it's actually pretty entertaining and fast paced until it gets to the wedding, dude, and then it just kind of bogs down. So, really colorful movie, decent cinematography. But yeah, just a bunch of rich, attractive people and fairly contemporary soundtrack. So,
Is this a chick flick?
um, yeah, there was no explosions in it, if that's what you're asking.
Well, no,
There
no.
was
When I think
no
of a
really.
when I think of a chick flick, I think it's like a lot of women's fantasy.
Oh, I got you. For some
Like
reason, I found it entertaining though.
it
Like,
could be entertaining. Like I love
yeah.
Clueless. Clueless is like one of my favorite movies, but
Oh, don't get me started, man. Mighty Bison, Boss Tones or whatever. Holy
yeah.
crap, dude! I rebought that PS1 game just for that soundtrack, and then plus the car combat games.
But like when I think of a chick flick, I'm thinking a bunch of rich people. The dudes are rich. Honestly, the
Mhm.
chicks are usually pretty well off. Nobody works. Like there's never a scene where anybody's working.
No, they're actually well. There's not really a scene where they're working. They just have all these high up positions in these.
Right, right. That's the
Yeah.
illusion is that everybody's successful, but
Did
nobody
you write this
works.
movie? Because it sounds like you did, man.
No, I'm
You're
just
hitting a lot of the
this
key
is in
points there.
every chick flick movie follows this formula where there's a girl who likes a guy. I mean, yeah, girl likes guy. Soon there'll be girls who like girls. I don't know why we're not there yet,
Mhm.
but and then no, everybody's rich and successful, but
Okay.
nobody works. Like, yeah, like there's never a scene where someone's like, "Oh,
Well,
I
I
gotta get to
mean,
work."
like, what is success, though? That's a very personal question, man. You know.
Well, money, lots of money.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all successful. They have a lot. I mean, because their success of love life is going to be established within the confines of the movie. Um,
I don't know. They got some messy love lives in there. They kind of mixed it up a little bit.
well, yeah,
Um.
that's what I mean. That's the struggle in these movies is that their love lives.
Okay.
Everything else seems to be relatively perfect.
Yeah, everything else falls into place, right? So,
Yeah,
more
it,
money you got, the easier. Money's only a problem when you don't have it, right?
yeah, yeah.
So,
My sister had this book and she was reading it. I think last year when we were all kind of hanging out, and I never see my sister, and she's just raving about this Crazy Rich Asians
I didn't even
book.
know you had a sister. Shock alert. Do we have like a buzzer?
Bah! Things to learn. Yeah, she's a character. Anyway, she was pointing this book out. I've never heard of it, and apparently it's like everyone said that they'd read it or it was super popular. So I have no idea. It sounds incredibly boring though.
The the book, or you think this movie is?
The whole thing, the whole shebang, all of
The
it.
whole shebang, the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah, and it's directed by somebody that did GI Joe. You said,
G.I. Joe Retaliation, yeah, the second one.
and there were
Rick
no
Grimes was.
explosions.
Negatory on the explosions.
What the
No
hell?
good 80s cheese explosions. No Matrix visual effects.
What's the point?
They got a G6 though. They got a jet though.
Mm, I'll take it.
Uh,
All right, what do you give Crazy Rich Asians?
let me see here. Let me see. It bogs down at the end, so I gotta deduct some points from that. I give it like a 6 out of 10. Overly rich, all Asian actors. Dude, there is nothing but Asian actors, dude. I just want to give you the. So if Black Panther was a huge step in black filmmaking, this is a huge step in. There's not a single non-Asian person on this IMDb cast. So
The huge step in Asian filmmaking already happened when they made that
yeah.
Mummy movie.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, the only one I know is the guy from The Hangover. That's actually a real doctor in real life.
Oh, he's in this?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it. So we finally watched it, and bright
We,
colors.
we can put it behind us.
Yes, I can finally put it to bed, put it to bed, or put it to rest.
All right. Next
All
up, I
right.
got Doom Patrol on here.
Doom Patrol. It is still going right now. So believe it's on Netflix. Probably get it from various other ways of doing it. The main character you see up there, well, not really main. Anyway, the robot guy, Brendan Fraser's back. I think this is his first big role from a long time.
Brendan Fraser?
Yeah, Brendan Fraser is the robot guy on there. Timothy Dalton does the voice. Well, he does the voice for Chief. Timothy Dalton was James Bond for a few movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Brendan
what is
Fraser
it?
looks a little different. It's based on a comic book.
Okay.
That DC had. I vaguely remember it as a kid.
Yeah, Ninja, I'm not a total I don't read comic books.
But it's got Brendan Fraser in it.
No, but what's it about? I don't know what this movie's about or this show's about.
So there was all these bursts all at once in this one day, just like miraculous out of nowhere. And is this or is
that's,
that
that's the other one. That's Umbrella
my God,
Academy.
dude, I'm watching. These things are mixing together, dude. Oh my God.
I was gonna say, man, Hollywood's really. I knew they were out of ideas. I didn't know they were that out of ideas.
This is what happens when you watch too many shows, like mix them together. Oh my God, dude. Okay, so I'll just do like a synopsis. A lot of interesting characters come together. Donkey farts and he's evil.
Ninja, I have no clue what's going on here. What is this show?
It's a fever dream. It's a fever dream. Yeah. So anyway, I'll just go do what the IMDb says. It's a reimagining of DC's most beloved group of outcasts. They're outcasts, man. They're underdogs, black sheeps, whatever. If you're that type of person, you probably relate to them. If you're the black sheep of the family or the outcast or loner or whatever.
I'm not. What's
right.
going? What? Ninja, come on, throw me a bone here. What is this show about? What is going on here?
Bad things happen to them and they get powers.
Okay, so bad things happen to a group of people. They get powers.
Brendan Fraser isn't unemployed anymore. Okay, and he's back, but he gained a little bit of weight.
And he gained a
he's
horrible
in a robot body now.
Robot face. Okay.
Yeah, he was a NASCAR driver like Ricky Bobby. I
swear, Ninja, it's like putting together a damn puzzle. Like. And there's no corner pieces
in it too. There's some good talent in here.
What? Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, Brendan Fraser, Diane Guerrero, April Bowlby, Alan Tudyk. Yeah, I remember these guys. What is the show about?
They're after an evil goat. It's a weird story.
Oh my God! What do you think of the show? What's your opinion?
Man, love it. They got an evil goat in it. Come on, man. Brendan Fraser's an ex NASCAR driver that's in a robot body. Come on.
How many stars do you give it?
8 out of 10, baby. 8 out of 10. Brendan Fraser's back, baby. I think after a terrible divorce. I don't know. I know
he went through a rough divorce. I read an article with him talking to a news guy. He's just petting his horse the whole time.
Wow.
Just big on horses.
Gotcha. Well, dude, it's got your boy Alan, man. He's a great voice talent. So
he ain't my boy.
He was your favorite Star Wars movie, Rogue One. He was the lippy robot.
Yeah.
All right. Well, why I have a fever dream over here? Why don't you? Can you take over for Umbrella Academy before I mix it up again?
Yeah, I haven't seen all of it. I still need to see the last episode. So, bummer. Missing the last episode. But basically, you got a couple of kids. Actually, there was a bunch of kids that were born on the same day, and their parents weren't even pregnant. And they're all born, and then like 7 of them get adopted by the super rich guy.
Yeah, there was some numbers involved because I think he doesn't even name one of them or something. They're just a number.
He doesn't name any of them.
Doesn't even name. Yeah, they're just numbers. So.
And he raises them to be like almost like a comic book. Not almost, really, it was a comic book because they even made comic books. Comic book style children, almost like imagine a bunch of different Robins. That's what they were.
Okay, well, for somebody that doesn't read comic books, that's a really good explanation of that.
Yeah, and so they each have their own powers. One of them has super strength. One of them is like a ninja-ish throwing knife guy. One of them teleports through space and eventually time.
Yeah, he's really cool. I like his character. Yeah.
One of them can make you do things with her mind if she tells you. Like, don't even spoil that. One person can talk to the dead. One person who's barely in it because he apparently died, and that's given away in the first episode. But he maybe there's something else revealed in the last one that I don't know yet. But he has like weird tentacle powers, which is kind of weird. He's like a hentai character or something. And then the last person, which is played by Ellen Page, quote unquote,
Ellen Page
has no
been
powers.
Too much, has she?
She's been in a ton of stuff.
Okay, maybe I'm just man. I gotta get out more.
You're the ninja. You're the movie guy, ninja. You're the movie guy. Oh my goodness. Anyway, Ellen Page, quote unquote, has no powers, and it's their struggle as soon as their father dies. They're all reunited, and suddenly there's an apocalypse coming, and then they all kind of have to get together and figure out how, why, what's going on, how to stop
a doom and apocalypse coming. Come on, Watchmen. Come on. Come on, every Marvel movie with the blue laser thing in the sky and aliens invading.
Yeah.
Come on, come on.
It's a really fast-paced show. It's got a lot of characters. It's got more characters than just the 7 or the 6 really there. It's got what's her face? She's a musician lady, Mary J. Blige, and not John Goodman are playing these
Definitely not John Goodman.
These two hitmen that are supposed to kill or track down the boy specifically. It's got a lot. It's like a million things happen in this show.
Yeah, don't they go to like really crappy hotels too and stuff? Like they're always talking about the budget and stuff. I thought that was a nice, nice detail.
Yeah, it's kind of like a reverse what you'd expect from hitmen.
Yeah, they're like the on the shoestring budget Men in Black type.
Yeah,
type organization.
It's about right. Some off-putting things for me. I'm not a fan of dancing and I'm not a fan of music, and they have scenes with both. So loses some points from me for that. But otherwise, I think it's pretty entertaining. Some of the acting's a bit... Nah. I mean, there's a couple of scenes I didn't like, but for the most part, I think it's good. I really like the big guy, the scenes with the big guy in it.
Yeah, that came from the moon, yeah.
And the guy that speaks to the dead, I'm hit or miss with him. Sometimes I think he kind of overacts and doesn't really understand what his role is. But I like scenes. There are scenes that I really really like with him in it, so it's kind of a toss up. I'm not a big Ellen Page fan, so
really like how sassy the guy is that goes through time and space and all that stuff. Man, I think he's a good actor.
You know what it is? I roll my eyes when I see him because he is the comic book representation of the reader. You familiar with that concept?
Oh, no. Explain, please. I'm all ears.
Comic books always have somebody for the reader to latch on to.
Oh, okay.
And if your target demo is like a boy, which almost all comics are, like a young boy, young adult, YA. That's right, YA. You make a character that they specifically relate to.
They can put themselves in the shoe. So is that why Spider-Man's like
exactly
really cool among the young people because he's a teen struggling with real life stuff, trying to balance.
Yeah, they always do
work and yeah.
He's a teen. He's kind of an outcast, but he's really really cool on the inside, and he's got a lot of stuff going on. He's smart. It's everything, and he just kind of embodies that for me, and I just kind of rolled my eyes to it. But he doesn't do a bad job. You're right. He does it well.
Well, I just like he kills people with no discretion. he's not apologetic about it. He gets it done.
That's true. That's very true. Pretty good action scenes.
Yeah. This is definitely. I agree with the fast pace, man. I would definitely was not bored.
Were you ever a fan of My Chemical Romance?
Yeah, I like. There's what is it? The Black Parade and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it? Are you getting a vibe, or is it some of the music was on here?
No, the lead singer wrote the comic book.
You're shitting me,
No, no.
dude. That guy's talented, man.
Yeah, he
And
really
like,
is.
what's he gonna do next? Make his own clothing company?
Well, he'd been working on this for a long time.
Oh, dude, that's
Yeah, I
cool.
feel like I remember him working on this God, maybe like a decade ago. He was
Yeah,
working on this. And he's gained a ton of weight. Ton of weight. He used to be so skinny and whatever.
maybe
Now
have the
he's
Brendan Fraser diet. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. He and Brendan Fraser got together and ate a
Go through
horse.
some tough times in life and you gain weight. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but he made a good little thing here, and yeah, I like it. What would you give it as a rating?
Uh, I'm a little bit over halfway, so I'm a little bit behind you. I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. Unusually, slightly different heroes.
I give it 7 out of 10 clocks.
Doomsday Clock sticking down.
Doomsday clocks. That's perfect.
Dude, I love the poster they have. It's so like the Friends or something. It's like a them under the umbrella. That's right.
Yeah,
Umbrella.
yeah. It's a
But
neat idea.
yeah.
Also, one of them has a really weird body.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say. All right. We can move on from the Umbrella Academy on to another movie. Captain Marvel just came out. Well, it was coming out tonight, and the reviews are in. This is not the smash hit, at least review wise, the smash hit movie that everybody was probably hoping for.
Is the source the Metacritic that we're using?
Yeah, we're using
Okay.
Metacritic. Actually, we could probably get Rotten Tomatoes.
You want me to bring up IMDb, or you want to not use that?
If you like, yeah, you can bring that one up.
Okay.
Well, it's interesting because I guess the tomato meter is fairly different than the Metacritic. Metacritic's at 65.
Okay.
The tomato meter is 82%.
Huh. That's a pretty big difference.
It's a huge difference. I don't know
Uh,
what's up with that. Um, this movie has a lot of political overtones. Have you been keeping up
wow.
with all that?
No, I really want to go see this with my wife. I wanted to watch the least amount going into it. So because it's starting to ramp up. So I've been slacking on the movies because it's really kind of a slow season. But it's starting to be spring and then summer and then because I think Black Adam no Shazam comes out next month. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's about to be on with the blockbuster summer. So
This movie has gotten a lot of political heat. You're getting it from both sides because it's really being pushed as a feminism movie.
oh, okay. Well, do we have to have movies with agendas now? Can't we just make it an entertaining piece, an entertaining piece of art so people can just take their mind off the world for a few hours, man?
No.
No, not gonna do
No,
it.
I think if they do that, it helps sell. Just like Black Panther. If you make it a big spectacle,
No,
and
okay.
yeah. Although Black Panther apparently did a lot better than this on Metacritic, so
Hmm.
it's
Okay.
interesting. But recently, the star of this movie, Brie Larson, she had gone on a press tour and said, "I don't care what white people." I don't care what 40-year-old white men think of my movie. Granted, she was talking about a different movie.
Okay.
But she said, I don't care what they think about this movie. It's not for them. So she's kind of throwing her gauntlet in there of the whole feminism thing. And it's really interesting to hear it in such a blunt,
Yeah, that's pretty
blatant
blunt. They
way.
usually actors like do fluff pieces and stuff and don't really have such convictions.
Yeah, she said
They're just trying to sell tickets.
she said that she was really unhappy that everybody that was asking her questions were white men. And I'm just like, I mean, everyone is thinking it. You're going to a comic book movie signing. Who did you expect to be there? Because I don't know. Obviously, she has an agenda going into this. It's curious if you were to replace the white men comment with a different color, and if people would be okay with that. You know, we're at a really weird point in time with the whole spectrum of politics, where some racism is acceptable and others are not. Whereas in a perfect world, no racism is acceptable. You know what I'm saying?
Like a utopia.
Well, like if you listen,
is it like that movie with all the animals that get along and the sloths, the DMV, because he's slow, because the DMV is usually pretty slow too. Am I making the connections?
I know that it's Zootopia, but I've never seen it.
For an animated movie, I think it won a lot of awards.
Yeah, it's a weird spot we need to get out of. Because racism at all is not okay, and sexism at all is not okay. But right now we're at a spot where some is and some isn't.
Okay, so go watch movies from like the 60s, 70s, and 80s until all this stuff came up.
God, I don't know what the solution is. They keep cramming it into every movie. It's hard. Anyway, it's got a 65. It's kind of a shitty score considering how much they're hyping it up.
Yeah, I'm trying to look. It doesn't have a very good review on IMDb. I'm not trying to look too deep into it down the rabbit hole, but yeah.
Apparently,
we'll see after a week, maybe follow up on it.
Yeah, I think we should follow up on it next week. Apparently, the cat is really cool.
Okay.
So there you go.
Cool cat.
I just spoiled the movie.
Well, the internet, dude, the internet loves cats.
Yeah, I really like that one. And now we have a transitionary story. You ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting really good at this. This will transition us from movies to video games. Because a day ago, Sonic the Hedgehog's live-action movie design was revealed. You can't see it. You might as well Google it if you can. It has a very questionable look.
Is it cool looking like Detective Pikachu?
It's trying. It's weird. He looks very uncomfortable.
Is it Uncanny Valley?
No, it's
wait, because you'd have to look like a realistic blue hedgehog.
It's just very odd. He has not. It appears that he has no gloves, but actual just white hands. And he's very lanky, and he has regular sized shoes. And is otherwise naked. It looks. You really need to see it yourself. It looks very, very disconcerting. As a troll, as a troll piece, it would be really genius. As an actual movie, it's horrifying.
It's tough to make a movie about a blue hedgehog that collects rings and stuff, man. Defense. I mean, look at Super Mario Brothers.
Well, you know who's playing?
Really hard to put on the screen.
You know who's playing Dr. Robotnik, apparently? It's Jim Carrey.
What? Jim's actually gonna... Wow.
Coming out of the woodwork for this one. For Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie.
I thought he just did comedians in cars getting coffee and paint it
all day?
Crazy beards out.
That's probably what he'll do after he makes this movie. He's like, oh, I shouldn't have gone back and done that. Yeah, and I think Ben Schwartz is doing the voice of Sonic, which makes sense. Kind of got that nasally voice. But yeah, this just all around looks horrible. I don't know who signed off on this movie. But maybe it's genius, making something so terrifying. Everyone's looking at it. So.
Don't. So what I'm getting from this podcast is don't make things that are good. Just make things that are get people riled up in controversy. Controversy sells.
Absolutely. You create controversy, it's way better than making a good movie. People will watch it. All right, with that transition, I hated Sonic. I never liked that series. I thought it was crap.
Oh, yeah, Mario purist.
Yeah, but I'm not even a platform guy. I don't play platformers. I think they're boring. Um,
I think somebody made an indie game and it's just called like "Keep Going Right" or something. Just a joke, because you always go right.
yeah, yeah.
No love for the left-handed people in the world, man.
Well, they're the devil. They're Satan's spawn, so
Nothing
makes
for the
sense.
southpaws.
Wanted to get into some gaming news. Valve says it won't publish game about raping women after, quote, significant discussion. This is an article from The Verge. There's a video game. It's called Rape Day. You could probably guess what it's about. And they're trying to push Valve because Valve a while ago did announce that they will no longer ban things from being on their platform as long as it wasn't illegal.
Okay.
Or very obviously trolling to elicit negative reactions from the general public. So basically, you can put something in there as long as you can constitute that it's a video game.
Okay, but then you go, what constitutes a video game then?
That's the problem.
That's very open interpretation.
There's absolutely no. Yeah, exactly.
So, you know what? This reminds me of was the game called Manhunt, where you were a criminal and you would do these pretty violent acts,
Yeah.
and that was the controversy at that time.
Mm-hmm. This was by Rockstar.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I vaguely remember. It's probably been a while.
You know what's hilarious? That game came out on the Wii.
I wonder what the control schemes were for that. Like,
amazing. You had to. There was a part where you had to like strangle somebody with a line.
Okay, like a garrote, like a.
Yeah.
Okay.
And obviously use the Wii. You know.
I can imagine. Could you just walk in on somebody with the Wii? Like,
they were selling this fucking game right next to Mario Party 5.
Hey man, sometimes it's a nice change of pace. Get some variety in there.
I think Manhunt got an AO rating.
Oh, wow.
Which, didn't it? They must have notched it down to mature for the Wii. There's no way they would release an AO game.
I'm curious about Manhunt. I'm gonna go play Manhunt again. So.
Yeah, it sounds like a.
It's like it's not even controversial anymore.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, it's initially released like 16 years ago now.
Valve says Rape Day posed unknown costs and risks without clarifying which rule it broke. Here's Valve's statement in full. And again, this is from The Verge, but this is from Valve. Over the past week, you may have heard about a game called Rape Day coming soon to Steam. Today, we've decided not to distribute this game on Steam. Given our previous communication around who gets to be on the Steam store, we think this decision warrants further explanation. Much of our policy around what we distribute is and must be reactionary. We simply have to wait and see what comes to us via Steam Direct. We then have to make a judgment call about any risk it puts to Valve, our developer partners, or our customers. After significant fact-finding and discussion, we think Rape Day poses unknown costs and risks and therefore won't be on Steam. We respect developers' desire to express themselves, and the purpose of Steam is to help developers find an audience, but this developer has chosen content matter and a way of representing it that makes it very difficult for us to help them do that.
So, what about Cheese Day? Can you make a game about cheese?
Hell yeah. They have what? Bread simulator or toast simulator or something?
Yeah, they do have that. That's actually I think it sells really well.
We gotta make
I like the goat one. The goat simulator is great. The physics on it and stuff. Yeah.
How did that take off?
Yeah. Donkey video game, YouTube Donkey, man. You get some great videos of that one. We stopped doing leak videos.
Anyway. this poses a question that you were kind of asking: is what are the rules, so we can know at what point are we allowed, or is Steam going to kick a game out? Because they pretty much left it wide open, except now they didn't. So honestly, it's not. This one isn't that big of a deal because the game's called Rape Day, and it's about raping people. So I think people could probably have put two and two together and decided, oh, they're probably not going to let it happen. But games that toe the line a little bit more, you got like a mature game that maybe has some graphical content in it. Where does that draw the line? That's an interesting question that hopefully we'll never see. We certainly don't see it with this Rape Day game. That makes sense. Cool. All right, next story. I wanted to talk about games as a service. Ninja, do you know what games as a service is?
No, please enlighten me. Again, I live under a big boulder that I lift every day for gains.
Yeah, well, the games as a service is a concept about making games. We play one. It's called League of Legends.
Yes, we've been playing it for years. So.
And that's the whole point of games as a service. It's not like the old model for video games was, we'll sell you a game for $60.
It would be a AAA title, right?
You'll play it for 40 hours, and then you're done.
Okay.
Right? Or you play it for 15 hours and you beat it. Hooray, the credits rolled. You're done. Well, turns out you can make a hell of a lot more money if you get people to play longer and buy stuff. So you get League of Legends, which game is free. That's unheard of. That's weird. Why would you sell? Why would you?
What an interesting concept.
Why would you release it for free? Oh, and then you release skins, and you let them customize, and all of a sudden you monetize the game.
Well, dude, not only... Oh, you remember when I started with skins? Now it's emotes. Or it was award skins. Those got more popular. And chromos there. And Riot is really focused on physical stuff. I get all kinds of emails about statues and posters and fluffy thing, whatever, Timo pillows and stuff, man.
Yeah, it's gotten big, and other companies have noticed, and it's become a really, really big deal.
Dude, what's that game that Fortnite? I saw Fortnite stuff at like in the mall. That was
do you know how much money
real life Fortnite products?
Do you know how much money Fortnite brought in last year?
Sure. Tell me.
$3.2 billion.
Oh my god, billion.
So EA and all these big companies have noticed. Don't think they didn't. And they're all kind of releasing their version of it, and every game is kind of following that to some extent. They release DLC. A lot of them, though, actually charge the full $60 to buy it, which isn't illegal.
Well, that sounds like Evolve. Evolve
yes.
charged. So I didn't play it until it became free to play, and then that was only like a second, like breathing life into it.
Yeah.
For just a little bit longer until it died again.
I paid $60 for that game.
Oh wow, how'd that make you feel, man?
Really shitty. That was horrible. Just horrible. But you see all these game companies kind of experimenting with that. And it's kind of, in some ways, been a disaster. I hear a lot of people complaining about it, though. And they're saying, like, this is horrible, stop doing this, stop doing this. It is kind of unfortunate that BioWare had to make Anthem. I'm specifically basically talking about Anthem. There's also another game I'm going to talk about. Sorry, BioWare didn't make it. Who made it? No, BioWare did. Yeah, BioWare made Anthem. Owned by EA. But BioWare's dead. Everybody knows that. BioWare is long gone. That company that you see now is nothing like the company you remember that made KOTOR, all those wonderful games. That company's dead. But that's besides the point. These games are a good thing for the industry. As hard as it is for us to swallow and watch them fail and watch them wear their greed on their shoulders. Anthem has $15 skins that you can buy.
$15, man.
The game itself is $60. The game
they're definitely amping up the game.
The game is incredibly empty, has about 3 different mission structures. And currently, if you're a PS4 user, it'll crash your system.
That's how I love my games. Empty with almost no content.
And bugs.
That's what I'm looking for. And yeah, bugs. Where Blizzard's like, oh, those are features. Working
Yeah.
as intended. Working as intended.
So yes, it's kind of a disaster. And before I get into the point of it all, Dead or Alive 6 came out recently. It's a $60 game.
Dead or Alive 6? Where did they skip a few numbers?
No, they've been going on for a while.
Man.
And Season Pass 1 is out as soon as the game went out. Can you guess how much Season Pass 1 costs?
$11,000.
Almost. $93. Keep in mind, this is Season Pass 1.
I think of a lot of things I could spend $93 on.
A game and a half. For $93, you get 60 costumes and 2 additional characters that are not even in there yet. It'll be released between March and June. I'm getting this from GameSpot. This game's getting a ton of shit for this.
Well,
But
hopefully people are speaking with their money.
That's the kind of the point I'm getting at, is that yeah, it's lame that they're doing this, but also what we're establishing here is supply and demand. We're establishing basic capitalistic principles where
We were talking about that over dinner last night with some fellow coworkers.
really.
Yeah, like capitalism. I mean, that's what it is. You've got it. Supply and demand. It's money driven, man. It's not us. It's the American way, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have this game here that pretty clearly we can see is just trying to rob you blind. And people are responding by not buying it. Anthem, for sales numbers, Anthem had a less than half of the week 1 sales numbers as BioWare's last
does
game.
Does it have competition? Because I know Apex is pretty strong right now too.
It does. It's
For
super
player base,
ironic
yeah.
because they're from the same publisher. EA does
Okay.
both of them. But yeah, Apex is crushing it. But anyway, Anthem has half of the sales figures as the last BioWare game, which was Mass Effect Andromeda. And if you remember Mass Effect Andromeda, that is a really embarrassing.
I didn't buy that one because no. Not gonna do it.
Yeah, that one got made fun of because of all the facial animations getting screwed up.
Oh, it's more entertaining than probably buying it. Yeah. And then
Oh,
you save
for
yourself
sure.
tons of money, especially Geico.
So basically what's going on is we're telling these companies that we don't like it. And the ones that keep on producing it like this, they're going to keep failing. And eventually, one of 2 things are going to happen. One I know is going to happen is they're going to stop making them like this. They're going to pull back. They're going to do it. They're going to change the way they do it. They're going to make them better, or they're going to stop doing it entirely. They're probably just going to make them better because this model's probably here to stay. The other option is that they go out of business, which companies aren't really designed to go out of business. So,
I got one question.
what's up?
Where are the good games at?
There's plenty of good games.
Where are the good games?
Don't let the miserable people tell you.
Are
there's
they
no
are
good games.
they are they the indie games? Where
No,
are they?
they're in both. They're in all
Okay.
spectrum. People bitch about that. Like, none of the big games are good anymore. No, they're absolutely good. There's tons of good games.
Yeah, just go play Arkham Asylum.
That one's great. Devil May Cry 5 just came out. I hear it's great. Resident Evil 2, the remake, came out recently. That game is phenomenal. I
I
was
heard
watching
positive
Katie play.
positive things about that.
Yeah, no, there's tons.
I think it's tempting me to play it. I'm
I
a
mean-
sucker for Resident Evil, man. I grew up playing all of them, so.
Yeah, I mean, I have no love for that series, but I was watching it. It looked really.
Oh,
really
it's because of the tank
nice.
controls, right? If I remember.
Yeah, but I mean, the model doesn't do it for me. It's nothing against it. It's just it's not my style.
17, gotcha. I think I love my love for the Romero movies and zombies. I think is I have such an affinity for it.
Gotcha. But there's plenty of good games. There's absolutely no reason to say the games are bad. It's just a trend that we're kind of experiencing. Some games are doing this thing correctly. You got League of Legends that have kind of pioneered it for, a decade. Clearly, as much as probably neither of us would love to admit, but Fortnite is doing it correctly. They're doing it well, making a lot of money. Basically, if you make a lot of money and you're successful and you're growing, you're doing it well. If you're not, like EA and Dead or Alive 6 is getting a lot of crap. I don't know what the sales figures are, but they're getting a lot of crap for it. Then you're not doing it well, and you're going to fail. And people are speaking with their wallets, and that's what's really important. So just keep doing that. And
well, I'm gonna speak with my wallet. I'm gonna rebuy Shovel Knight for the 50th time.
Yeah,
I'm sending that guy's kids to college that designed it. It's gonna be a community college, but it's gonna be a college.
Yeah, but that was just a little piece I wanted to say about games as a service. Not a huge deal, but I think it's important that we keep that perspective. That capitalism has worked for a long time for a reason. And we'll be all right. Gamers are going to be okay. Don't you fret. And the last thing I wanted to explore, I was looking at Google Trends, see what people are talking about. It's how I get my topics sometimes. And I noticed that there's a related query called ELO Melo. It's MELO. It's a breakout. I was like, I've never heard of this before. What is it? And I found this really weird. You can't even hear it because you're not on the thing, but it's this really weird music video.
Mm-hmm.
It's clearly from a different country. It's like Bangladesh. And the camera's 60 FPS, so it looks horrible. And it's about a guy and a girl. Girl's kind of cute, but the guy is kind of a mess. Anyway, this is what I do with my time when I'm looking up content for the show. Little inside peek into what my life is. So if you want to check out ELO Milo Ichi Joto by Imran, there you go. Gets 2 thumbs up from me. Anyway, that's all I got. I'm Spencer. And there's Ninja over there.
Yeah.
I'll do it for you.
Guy.
Don't worry.
Thanks for having me back, man.
You got it. You got it, partner. That's all we got for the show today. Ninja, anything you want to say to the people?
Don't forget to set your clocks back, but you probably won't because everybody has cell phones that automatically do it and GPS stuff now with technology. So.
Oh, is it that time?
Yeah, is it St. Patty's Day yet? Can I get my green shake?
Ah, okay. Ooh, we'll have to do a quiz on St. Patrick's Day.
That we will. That we will.
Next week. You're up. All right. Take it easy, everybody. Bye.